Let's call this a modern fairy tale.
Oh, what could possibly go wrong?
They have proven themselves to be liars.
Why are they talking about race?
How you don't have your daddy at your wedding?
I want to be near them. I want to be a part of their life.
What you're doing to your father's not right.
She wanted her privacy invaded.
There were women who worked for her who were absolutely broken by her.
Just by existing, we were upsetting the dynamic of the hierarchy.
He has become a traitor.
Who are their friends now?
The fairy tale has fractured.
They would change the world.
The crown is seductive. You look at that thing, that mass, as the lights come up and watching that, you can see why people fight, die, kill, murder to claim the throne.
You have to imagine, at the beginning, everyone has like butterflies, and then we immediately went into the trenches.
You're just a TV actress that married a prince. That's not the trenches. I'm sorry, dear.
We wanted to believe that she was going to be this, like, she was going to add diversity to the royal family, really be someone women of color in the UK and in the Commonwealth could look up to, all the things.
An American princess.
Yeah, it was so cool. Also, she was older than him, she was divorced, she just didn't fit the mold.
For so many people in the families, there can be a temptation or an urge to marry someone who would fit the mold, as opposed to somebody who you perhaps are destined to be with. The difference between making decisions with your head or your heart.
Harry could have alluded to the fact that he was more, shall we say, significant than he actually was in the monarchy. The untold wealth, the riches.
In her mind, she's thinking lavish lifestyle.
A red carpet, welcome.
Palaces, houses, private jets. But of course, Meghan didn't realise just how far he was in the land of, well, shall we say,
It's like I was a hugger. I've always been a hugger. I didn't realize that is really jarring for a lot of Brits.
Meghan's friendly, tactile nature didn't sit well with everyone in the palace, especially Prince William.
This tactile manner made William uncomfortable because Meghan hugged him virtually every time they bumped into each other. The hugging and cheek kissing fueled gossip.
Look at that. Oh my God, Ready Teddy, that is. She's got her eye on William there, doesn't she?
I wonder if he could feel her eyes like boring into him when she does that. It's so creepy. She likes to stare at William a lot. So yeah, picked the wrong brother, I see.
At one point, people were saying that William was the one she initially wanted.
Yes.
William or Prince Harry?
I don't know.
Now we have Meghan's mood board released to the world on Instagram.
It's a shopping list, obscure post-it notes, fridge magnet platitudes from the TIG, pictures of food from the TIG, pictures of her from the TIG. None of it is anything to do with the future. It's all to do with the past. There is a painting popped in at the bottom right, showing them, of course, walking the dog and demonstrating their love as they cuddle up and smooch in their Wellingtons. As soon as I saw that, it immediately put me in mind of a picture of Catherine and William in their Wellingtons.
It is very, very similar to the picture on the mood board. So, certainly an odd one.
By the way, Taz spotted that guy, and I think Meghan deliberately set up that photo to copy Catherine and William. She is obsessed. Yeah, she is.
You see, the problem with Meghan, even at this point, was she thought she was the superstar that was putting the gloss on the royal family. Very quickly, she had all of these ideas to sort of modernise the family. When she couldn't get through to Her Majesty the Queen, she decided to put her view back to William. They could do this together, change the face of the monarchy. She figured that if she could convince him, then he could convince the Queen. There were endless texts, phone calls, bursting with ideas. Monetise the troop in the collar, pop up at the afternoon tea service at Buckingham Palace. William couldn't shake her off because she just kept going and going and going. But of course, William wanted to keep things as they were, particularly during the lifetime of his grandmother. Meghan really seethed behind closed doors about because it was one bond that she couldn't break into. She could not get over the fact that William was not easily available to her magnetic charm.
Meghan looks as if she wants to talk to Prince William, but he sort of turns away awkwardly and fiddles with his scarf. Looks like he just doesn't want to speak to Meghan at all.
Well, really, Meghan just wanted to win him over, to make sure that he literally fell under her spell. And whatever she wanted, whether that be a bigger house or to move into Windsor Castle, better artwork, well, all it would take would be a click of those heels, and of course she could get what she wanted. And she tried to get William to chat on various occasions about him being an Apache helicopter pilot. Then she dropped the bombshell that she wouldn't mind learning how to fly a helicopter. Always been a dream, she loved Top Gun, and she piled it on very thick. William suggested that perhaps her husband-to-be at this point would make the ideal person to show her. No, she didn't want to do that. She wanted to be able to just surprise him, say she'd learned it behind his back, that sort of stuff. And did he have the time? Could he even just go through the rudiments of it with her? But consequently, William, and dare I say, a very wily Catherine, were already on to Meghan Markle. So while she may think that she could have battered her eyelashes and won him over, well, the game was already up.
She was part of a team. She was part of a family. The Queen, Charles, Kate and William, these are all more important than her. There is a pecking order, and she wasn't on top. And that's what, of course, she resented.
There's a hierarchy of the family.
It took Meghan to instruct him that monarchy was hierarchical.
And I hate to state the obvious, but every company has a hierarchy. You have CEOs, you have management, top management, middle management, you have supervisors.
But how have you been a royal prince? How have you been in the army? How have you been at Eton? Eton is not exactly a democratic institution and not understood there's a thing called hierarchy.
Meghan has played upon Harry's sense of importance and unimportance because Harry has always resented not being equally important or indeed more important than William. And Meghan has played upon this brilliantly to create all sorts of havoc, not only within the royal family, but within Harry.
It was William and Kate
Yes.
who were going to be the stars, and not Harry and Meghan, and she didn't want to play second fiddle.
They were jealous of William and Catherine because William and Catherine and even Charles got the pick of the best jobs to do. I'm like, well, Catherine has been in the royal family for 10 years. She is the wife of the future king. She is the mother of the future king. She is also the future queen. And William is a future king. It's a hierarchy, of course it is. Harry knows this. Now all of a sudden he's complaining that his wife wasn't allowed to pick what job she wanted to do over Catherine and William and his own father Charles.
This woman had ideas above her station early on in their courtship.
Now, Nottingham Cottage is a lovely property, and you and I could only dream of living there. It would be lovely, but it wasn't good enough for Meghan.
And she then went over and looked at William and Kate's apartments in Kensington Palace, which are very splendid.
I saw Meg's eyes widen as we entered their front door, walked past their front sitting room, down their hallway, into their study. Wow, Meg said several times. Gorgeous, like a museum.
But you see, one of her sources of dissatisfaction was that she didn't live in a palace.
Kensington Palace sounds very regal. Of course it does. It says palace in the name.
So people can say we were living in a palace, and we were in a cottage.
We were living on palace grounds.
She was consumed with thinking, why aren't we living like this? I should have that. You know, she was just so hungry and so kind of impatient.
Meghan also didn't like that it was secluded.
You've been at home a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we've yeah.
You know, just to take the time to be able to go on long country walks and.
No, because she missed London life, because she wants fame and celebrity. It wasn't enough for her just to be a dutiful wife and partner to Harry. Pathetic, isn't it? It took her minutes to become bitter and jealous and not know her place.
And this has really eaten him up most of his life, you know, the jealousy factor that he seemingly can't get out of his system.
It's getting so bad that apparently Meghan has called in a sort of social media expert because she's quite unhappy that Kate and Wills have more followers than she and Harry. It's getting mad because they're 700,000 followers down. But there is this rivalry.
As so often happens, the wife's role very often is, you should be doing that. Why aren't you doing that? Like, you should have more. You know, you should. So she sort of fed the envy, essentially.
What struck me about the whole thing was everything is so bloody petty. You look at it. We had a dispute about a tiara, a bridesmaid's dress. Do you know what? My bedroom was smaller than my brother's. Look at this list of absolute trivia. There's a good principle of law de minimis. Yeah. Don't dispute about nothing. Yeah. These are nothings.
Meghan planted all sorts of poison. They didn't realize that Meghan was purposely injecting bitterness into the relationship.
Now, when you plant a seed that is so hateful,
they were beside themselves because Meghan was running roughshod over everybody, and nobody could figure out why Harry was folding at every turn. You know, that was when I thought, oh my gosh, this whole thing is beginning to unravel.
He just sort of blindly followed her like a child, really.
Harry has been trained by Meghan to let her go first from the very beginning. She should always be presented first. She should be the one to give the speeches. And then it was shoving Harry out the way, pulling Harry out of the way, stepping in front of Harry, pushing him behind her. Meghan was the one in front. Meghan was the one that got the microphone. Meghan was the one that they were there for. But then it changed to Meghan completely forgetting that Harry was even there.
Meghan was already in control of the relationship and of his reactions. And she made sure that she then was in control of his actions as well.
A needy man met a woman who could help him with his needs.
Because he's got no one around him. It's a perfect example when you learn about abusive relationships, isolating someone entirely from their friends and their family, making them believe that their friends and their family are the enemies. I mean, these are classic signs of an abusive relationship. She's accomplished all of them.
Oftentimes, when a guy falls in love with a girl, his buddies are like, oh my God, he changed. I don't see him anymore. He's always with her. And you blame the girl.
Like, he's changed. She must be a witch. He's changed.
She says to Harry that you've got to dump all your friends.
Well, I'm glad you don't hang out with your brother and those dudes. You know? I don't want them pulling you down.
A lot of the friends have been quite vocal, saying they've been pushed out.
They're angry with her because she's the thing that took him away. Most people need to find someone to blame. To try to reconcile how you're feeling, because something's changed and it doesn't feel good and you don't like it, and what's the thing that's different? Well, it's all changed when you got here. So it's your fault.
She separated him from his hinterland, and many of them won't speak to him.
She could have fitted in if only she hadn't got offended at so many things. She felt inferior, so she was very, very on guard, and everything somebody said was, she took it the wrong way. More fool her.
He wouldn't have ever been attracted to or interested in me if he hadn't already been on his own path.
Let's say that that's true, okay? That needed to be his decision all on his own.
And I've lost a few friends in this process as well. The saddest part of it was this wedge created between myself and my brother. Somehow my wife was the one that destroyed the relationship between these two brothers.
Destroyed relationship, not shattered, not broken, destroyed. If you destroy something, you cannot put it back together.
If the brothers get close again, if Meghan is no longer Harry's only emotional safe space, she loses control.
When you've lost a huge piece of yourself, getting that back includes getting back those relationships and those friendships and the things that anchor you to who you are.
The more fractured Harry's relationships are with his family, the more dependent he becomes on Meghan.
This reading is about a wild tale that Lady C told about Meghan's belief that she will one day be head of state. Apparently, this has been foretold, it's been predicted. This is her fate, her destiny.
Someone said to me, "You signed up for this. This is your hand and this is your lap around the sun." And you cannot predict anything. You genuinely can't.
And we have the psychic to Meghan Markle today.
A little prediction, I guess. I told her, I said, I see British people all around you.
She evidently has expressed the belief to people that she expects to one day be queen.
That's really grounding and affirming to remember. And then some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this life? I would have never predicted it.
And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.
I'm the last person to think, ooh, yeah. But it's undeniable.
She understands that all they need to do is pile enough pressure on William, and he will ultimately renounce the throne on behalf of himself and his children, and then Megsy baby gets to be queen. Pretty please.
Big Willie V. No Henry IX on the way, my dear. I'm sorry, you might have thought that you were going to be following on as some sort of sequel to your very famous relative, King Henry VIII, but it is not to be. I'm so sorry. He could eat you for dinner, couldn't he? And I hate to think what he'd do with your wife. Actually, it's rather delicious to ponder over that, considering what he did to some of the others.
Somebody told me that Meghan said in their presence, we're one plane crash away from the throne. Chilling, no? I mean, really chilling.